Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Spot Real Talk. My name is Tiara.
I'm Tiffany.
I'm Ron.
LaWanda.
Yes, LaWanda is back with us again.
Gang's all here.
Happy to have you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, and today we are picking up with our Quarantine Chronicles series. I do not have a drink for happy hour tonight. I think I'm also doing the water.
It seems like, well, I know I'm doing water.
I guess I'm the only lush in the group. I have a red raspberry Moscato popping right now.
You just keeping it real. You just
good.
keeping it real. That's all.
Water. Spent the day in the sun.
All right. Well, look,
I'll drink some water after this.
We'll join you guys again in 2 and 2. We'll be right back.
One burnt you, know that ain't cool. Wanna show you how I'm nothing like him. Swear that's the truth. You can't trust that
All right, guys, we are back. This week we are going to be discussing Insecure. This is season 4, episode 2. So where we picked up last week was kind of interesting with the whole Lawrence and Condola and Issa situation, and then it seemed like Molly and Issa might have been having some issues. So this week it was kind of a continuation of all of that had already transpired. How did you guys feel about the episode?
Well, of course, it opened up with some serious sex scenes.
Yes.
So, I mean, they know how to get it on. So, you know.
Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah, I thought the show. I was a little annoyed by a couple of things, and we can get into that a little more. Molly annoyed me a little bit, and also,
Yeah.
And Issa, she's, you know, these are two very insecure ladies. They come off strong, but
Hence
they're
the
very,
name of the
very
show.
insecure.
Yeah.
It's the show, of course, but that's my take.
Okay. Did you guys want to add any comments to that before we start jumping into our topics?
I'll say, I know Issa gets a lot of flack of people requesting that the show be extended to like an hour or 60 minutes. And I would say so. This episode was really quick. I couldn't believe
It really was.
It went by really fast.
I don't even think it was 30 minutes. I think it was like 20-something minutes.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's like maybe 28, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or it seemed that way anyways.
Yeah.
It's like once it was starting to get really good, because you can see the tension building between Issa and Molly.
Yeah, you can.
So yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about that because the Issa and Molly thing kind of started last week, and like I said, it picked up again this week. And so one of the questions I wanted to pose was, how would you feel if you kind of had that friend that's kind of like territorial over you, like your own friendship with her, and you start trying to mesh friend groups and it's not really working out? Like, how do you guys feel about that? Because it seems like Molly is like so super territorial over Issa and her friendship, but when it comes to like the scene where she invited Condola to stay and have lunch with them, Molly looked clearly irritated.
She did. See, you know what? I feel a couple ways about that because I have had friends like that. And so I kind of separate the friendships and stuff. But one thing that Molly got on my nerves this episode. I'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I like to do is, if I'm going to have a lunch date, dinner date with a friend or whatever, if I'm going to bring someone else, I do like to talk to the person I'm meeting with first to make sure it's cool. I really don't like to spring that on other folks because of that. Like, if I know like we're close and I'm looking forward to this time that I want to talk about stuff without, you want to talk about really personal stuff. And then if it's a third party there's only so much you can say around that person. So from that angle, I did understand what Molly was saying.
So the question for me is, did Molly tell Issa that she had some personal stuff she wanted to talk about? I mean, if they were just going to meet up and have lunch, I could see why Issa wanted to invite Condola.
No, I mean, it was fine that she invited Condola, but I know I've said that too, especially with good girlfriends. If there's a stranger there, give me a heads up.
With Molly though, what I'm saying with Molly, did Molly you know, let Issa know beforehand that she had some personal matters to talk to, to talk to her about. If she did, then Issa was wrong to invite Condola. But if she didn't do that, then, how would Issa have known? Because I think that's more of a girl thing than it is a guy thing. But, guys, hey, and I've had it happen to me, we're out with a small group, and then another guy or two come up and they want to join. We say, hey, it's no problem. It's cool. So we do that, but it's a girl thing. Y'all take that stuff because you're very territorial with your friendship.
So much a girl thing.
There you go.
So much a girl thing.
That
Molly had.
I don't think he's in the comments, Ron.
I'm just saying. You already said you all are very territorial with your relationship.
No, I said
that's not exactly what I said.
Be territorial. No, I'm not that kind of friend. I'm very good with meshing my friend groups. My friend groups get along pretty well when I decide to join them. I took a trip to Mexico October of last year, and I was meshing all kinds of friend groups. So I don't mind that. But
see, I can adapt. I can adapt to different friend groups.
You.
But I'm aware of the friends.
Situational awareness.
Yes, I'm aware of people who don't mesh well. So if I'm aware of certain things, then I won't mesh certain groups. But me, I can jump in and out of groups.
Right.
I don't think Issa could discern whether Condola would mesh well with Molly at that particular point.
Right, Ron. Based on their conversation last week, I don't think Issa should have meshed friend groups because she already knew that Molly kind of wasn't feeling her friendship with Condola. So I think that she probably could have used some better judgment in that situation. Did you have anything to add, LaWanda?
Yeah, LaWanda trying to jump in.
Yeah, because I think what it is like when you have different friends, be they from like work or from like high school versus college or family friends, they know they kind of reflect different aspects of yourself, and that's tend to be why they don't mesh, because they know you differently, right? And maybe they bring out different parts of you. And it's almost like you can see that with Issa, that she's changing, and it's a part of her that Molly doesn't know and doesn't seem comfortable with, right? And that's really what her issue with Condola is that, okay, Issa is becoming somebody else and she has a new friend, and I may not fit into that friendship with her, or I can't relate or something, because that's kind of what that tension is, because it has to do with that friendship is really born out of her trying to start this block party that Molly wasn't necessarily completely supportive of. And that's kind of where that tension is, because it's like, okay, Issa is doing all this stuff that I have no part in, and who is this new chick?
Because Molly is very controlling. It's amazing to me how Molly can be so controlling and so domineering in her relationship with Issa, but yet when she's in the boardroom, she's a little pussycat. When they had that board meeting,
actually she wasn't. She was falling back because
she had already stepped on his toes before.
She knew she stepped on that guy's toes last season.
You know what?
So she was trying to make amends.
Look, women's liberation was more about power than it was freedom. And so why not? You have the power. You knew something he didn't know. He was explaining one way, you knew a better way. Why not jump in and say, hey, it sounds good, but how about this? Because after all, that's what I guess the senior attorney was, when he asked, Molly, do you have anything to bring into this? And Molly,
she wasn't trying to blow up his spot and make him look bad, because that would have made for their relationship at work.
Come on, look, they
were already on the outs.
There's always a way.
I want to hear what LaWanda has to say.
Because he said that about women, but our relationships is a power struggle about who's dominant in a relationship, and that changes from time to time. And you see that what Molly does. And if you go back to when Insecure first started, the picture was that Issa was insecure, but Molly was the one that had everything together. She had the bomb job.
Yep.
Everybody liked her. Remember, it was about white people like her, guys like her, everything. But you're starting to see that relationship kind of shift.
Yeah.
And you start to see more of Molly's insecurities than you are seeing Issa.
And especially when it relates to Andrew, because she was very hesitant to bring up her insecurities with him, with the fact that he was dating multiple people. And then she was hesitant to bring up the fact that he wouldn't open up to her. So it's like all of these things that she's like tiptoeing around.
But I agree with what Issa said. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I agree with what Issa said about Molly. Like it to me, it does feel like she's always looking for something. Because I was just like, enjoy the man.
Well, she can never be happy.
He'll tell you what he wants you to know.
Molly is the type of female that if you go left because she tells you to go left, she'll decide later that you should have gone right. She will never be happy because she's still looking, and or she really hasn't decided what she truly wants. So
that's probably the case.
And everybody gets on her nerves at some point or another. Now I can say this. I understood Molly wanting to, get a little deeper with Andrew.
I understood that.
Try to understand him better because obviously she likes him a little more than she's like anybody else. I actually thought Andrew was being a little girl, sitting up there getting all upset over the fact that she just asked him a few questions. But Molly kind of, I guess it's a certain way to jump into somebody's personal information, and other than just.
It's the way she does it. It's not what she does. Sometimes it's the way, because it comes off as doing too much. Molly always does too much.
Yeah. It's a simple conversation that she turns into a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It could have been like, hey, you don't talk, you don't open up, and let that be it. But it always becomes a major crisis or a thing. And so I was kind of like Issa, like, aren't you tired? Because it's like, we're tired. We're all tired.
Yeah. We're all tired, Molly.
Yeah, true.
So another topic that I wanted to bring up that was kind of like a major one from last week was Issa and Condola's friendship. And so last week we were kind of speculating, like, could you be friends with somebody that is currently dating your ex? And so now we see that they have decided to pursue the friendship further. And so now the thing becomes, especially this is more so in relation to Lawrence. How would you feel about your ex and your next kind of intermingling and sharing details about you behind, without you knowing about it? Because
that's not good.
I think he was very uncomfortable with
he
the fact
was very uncomfortable.
I felt Lawrence too, because hey, keep me out of you all's mouths, because you know how y'all do. Y'all go real deep on it, and the next thing you know, stuff's coming back at me, and then I'm all in this mix that I shouldn't be in the first place. So I felt him. I understood what he was saying, But again, getting back to Issa always has that little other plan in the back of her head, because he got it straight with her. Then Issa had to call, and just wanted to make sure I'm clear with X, Y, and Z. And he says, "Okay, you're clear." And Issa goes, "How are you?" He's like, "We can end this right now."
Yeah, and Condola, that's gonna be the end of their friendship.
Because Lawrence and Issa is getting ready to get it in one more time. They ain't done.
Well, Lawrence seems to me like he's done with it in some instances, and like in this episode, he seems like he's cool. He wants to go with Condola, and he wants to keep Issa at bay. That's what it seems like to me. But I'm not sure. Issa is definitely not through, and that is going to be a problem.
Because she was the one that messed up the relationship. I mean, she was,
Yeah.
And it's too soon. That was the other thing. Like, I wasn't so upset about her and Condola being friends. Like, I could kind of see that, because they have the same kind of interest. I just think it's too soon. Like, maybe if it was like 5 years after the fact, okay.
Right.
But, yeah, like, this is like way too soon.
Yeah, right. It's very fresh.
Yeah.
And like Ron was saying, I do agree with him about, Lawrence, and I can understand his uncomfortability, because I think that if I had someone new in my life, I would want them to get to know me for me and what they see me, not what my ex experienced from me, which could be a completely different thing, because they're different from certain people. So I would want them to get to know me without having any, preconceived or any notions, about what happened in my past.
Because I think, it's going to get to sex sooner or later. That's what they're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Now that would be really awkward for them to be
Awkward.
comparing notes with the sex. They don't
They
need
really
to have that
don't.
discussion.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I think Lawrence, by going over to talk with Issa, I think he was trying to establish some boundaries with her. And even, when she called him back and was like, asking him about if he had told Condola they met up, he was like, I don't think that's necessary. And I kind of agree with him, because it wasn't like they met up to be sneaky and sly on the side. He was just trying to establish some boundaries. And I don't think that it would help his cause if Condola knew that they had met up.
She gonna slip and tell her.
Yes.
And that's gonna be
Issa.
You call it a slip. I don't call that a slip.
But it's gonna be a thing.
But that's it. But that's the problem with the relationship, is her friendship in the relationship is the fact that Issa and Lawrence will have this intimate relationship. They're gonna have secrets and things between them that Condola may not ever know, that she may just find out through a conversation. And even them meeting up and not telling her, it's nothing. We all see it as nothing, but that's gonna put something in the back of her mind.
True.
And I think he left the paper trail a little bit, because he texted her first and was like, I'm outside. And so I feel like Condola might eventually find those text messages and be like, oh, so y'all met up.
And his boy told him
neither one of them said anything.
his boy told him not to leave any paper trails. He said, don't text, because that'll leave a trail. Sure enough, he decides to do just that.
He did say that, but it's too late for that now.
Well, it's done.
So.
It's gonna plant the seed, and she's gonna be like, I can't compete with your history.
Yeah.
5 years and stuff. Condola's gonna feel like that. She's gonna be like, I don't want to be the side piece, and he wants to innocently pursue something with her. But I think the relationship with Issa is gonna be a complication in their relationship.
And she's gonna see to it. Issa's gonna see to it. And she's up to something. I mean, and she comes off very playful and very nonchalant. But she's up to something.
I don't think she's that conniving.
I think it's just natural. I mean, the two of them had a 5-year relationship.
It's over, Tiffany. It's over. It's over. Give it.
But they also had a friendship too. Like, I think that think it's just
you keep saying had. That's a past tense. It's over. Done.
Right.
Let it go.
But you could tell by when they met up, you could see how they were kind of like grinning at each other with that little cheesy smile.
Yeah.
You could see that they still feel
relationship is over.
I saw in Lawrence a sense of awkwardness. I saw in Issa's eyes, can it be? Can it be? I mean, can we get this thing going again?
It's a sense of awkwardness because he still cares too. That's why.
I mean, but it's a difference. It's a difference between caring. Of course, he's going to care for her. I mean, heck, why wouldn't he care for her? I mean, he did love her at one time. And we're not talking about caring. We're talking about going beyond that level of caring to having more of an interest in rekindling that relationship, which I don't believe at this moment Lawrence has. I do believe Issa does.
LaWanda?
Yeah, but if you remember, okay, you go back to the night they had the movie showing for Issa's birthday, and he came over, right? He was still showing interest in her. The only reason he backed off is because he thought she was reneging on her new venture, right? And he was thinking, okay, she's going to be in that same old mindset. I thought she was going beyond this. I thought she was changing. But up until that moment before he was
still trying to pursue
her. He was probably thinking it's better for me to go back to this woman I know than dating all these strange women. Remember the conversation that he had with his father?
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't think it's one-sided. I don't think it's
no, it's not. It's not.
I agree with you.
Something. We seeing both sides. Both of them are missing the relationship.
I don't see that.
Yeah.
Well, I see it. When they get it in, Ron,
we're gonna be up here. Told you so.
He's moving on just because he's hurt.
I said it here. Even if they don't get back together this season.
Yeah,
they getting it in.
I think it might just be a slip up.
I think that the whole show is getting it in. I mean, I can't wait till they have this huge orgy, because it seems like everybody.
Well, you know what? I was about to bring up the scene with TSA, babe.
No,
now see, I gotta say, I read some of the comments, y'all, out there like they said to me, they said a couple people asked me like, Tiffany, you think that TSA Bay is a downgrade? And I said, yes, I think TSA is a downgrade. He may be a down stuff, but he is a.
Okay, it's funny how y'all do. It's funny how y'all do. Because if a man was saying that about a heavyset woman, you all would be all
it's not
over
about
top
him
of the
being
man.
heavyset. Issa said he got 3 kids.
Oh no! Look,
Couple baby mamas.
yeah, but you were getting that D. You were getting that D, and now
I said, well, first of all, let's talk about.
He got baggage.
The sex alone.
he had baggage the first time she hooked up with him, and that was okay.
Listen,
So now she's.
You hear me?
The sex
The
ain't
sex
good.
alone is
He
downgrade.
3
No,
kids.
Trip.
multiple
Look, you can't have
baby
it both
mamas.
ways. Either he's a downgrade or
What do you mean you can't have it both ways?
you can't have it both ways. If he's a
So,
You can't
downgrade,
have somebody who pleases her.
Tiffany.
And okay, Issa
You know.
said it herself though. He's clearly not somebody she wants to be with. When she was having a little mirror conversation with herself,
So either accept the fact that
go
you
fishing
getting
for the
dick.
condom.
Look.
he was
Accept the
not
fact.
feeling him.
Accept the fact that he's good diggity, and let it go, and don't worry about whether he's too good for you or not good
But
enough.
he's not.
Oh, so,
But he's not though.
But the dude had you upside down in bed knocking boots, and that was good. That was okay. So if it's
But
okay,
look at her face. She putting up with it. He wasn't really.
Yeah,
Tiffany.
she was
He
not
was
feeling
no
it. She
no
could barely
Daniel.
wrap
He
her
was
arms
no
and
around.
go find somebody that makes you feel good and is good for you.
That's what I'm saying. When I said that he's a downgrade, I wasn't just talking about his weight. I'm just talking about period. What she.
Well, why is he a downgrade?
I done already told you.
Yeah, we just told you.
Tell me again.
He got multiple kids, multiple baby mamas.
There's a lot of women that carry that kind of weight.
He's stagnant in his career, okay?
Oh,
and
he may
the
be
sex
up
is
and
not
coming.
good.
He may be up and coming. Give him a
He
break.
might be, but Issa's not in that space anymore. She already had that issue
Wait a
with
minute.
Lawrence being stagnant in
Issa's
his
trying
career.
to throw a block party. That ain't exactly CEO of Coca-Cola.
It's
my
not,
whole
but
But
she's
she's always
Entrepreneurial, right?
What?
It's entrepreneurial, right?
It is
Hey.
It's like her moving
What are you
forward
talking
with
about?
a dream type.
Okay,
It
so
is
it's
entrepreneurial. She's getting sponsors. She's trying to deal with the gentrification in her neighborhood, trying to bring her community together.
it's
he's
something
he's
she's
a
passionate
black
about.
man trying to feed him those babies and trying to get it on. So my whole point is, look, give a man a chance. Give him a chance.
She did twice. I mean, I think
Look, I'm not mad at him. He got his children. That's fine. I'm just saying, he wasn't putting it down like that either. I don't. He ain't the one. He's passing.
he's
through
sweet.
and
He's a sweet
let him
dude.
pass on by.
Yes.
Okay, we're not fat shaming, but we're gonna go down the line and look at Lawrence, and we're gonna look at Daniel, and then we're gonna look at, I can't think of his name, Nathan.
And by the way, guys, we're at the
And
5 minute
TSA
mark.
Bay. No.
By the
we're
way,
at the
we're
we're at the
approaching
5-minute mark.
the 5-minute mark.
Okay, so I will admit that TSA Bay is a downgrade from Lawrence. If you want to go there,
Yes.
Yes.
But she's the one that did the downgrade, though. See, so my whole
True.
point was,
It was her
Lawrence
choice.
wasn't
We
good
never
enough.
argued that point. We just said the TSA.
So my
was
point
down.
here's my point. If you're the one responsible for losing your perfect man, and then you lose him, and then you get, why would you even let TSA Bay in you anyway? Look what just happened. He lost his okay. I can't even say this on live stuff we're talking about, but he lost his condom.
But he
She had to
did
go
it.
up, she had to go up in there and find it. I mean, what's going on? How much more of this do you have to take?
Nathan. Oh, Nathan, right? This is the
Uh-huh.
rebound from that Nathan situation. So she's just going through it and putting herself through it. But
And that's okay.
she
That's
broke
okay.
up with him by the end of this episode. So
And
there's
that's
hope
okay.
for Issa.
Right.
It's okay for her to get the diggity from TSA Bay, even though she doesn't like him, she doesn't want him, he's a downgrade, yada, 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 yada. But you got to get the dick, so she's getting the dick, right?
I think she could have gone back to Daniel for that.
That's what I'm thinking.
Exactly. At
But
least,
That's what
I think she's just in a space. She's starting to figure herself out because, like, when she had that moment with herself in that conversation, And she's just kind of like, what are you doing,
Yeah.
girl? Like, for real, what are you doing? So she's going to get it together.
All right.
One question I wanted to ask you guys about the Molly thing. Like, what did y'all think about the scene where Molly got the call from Andrew, and then when she talked to Issa, she didn't even tell Issa. Like,
Secretive.
she lied to Issa and said, "Oh, it was a
Secretive.
work thing."
Very
I
secretive.
was like,
This is my point with Molly. You can't, I don't know how Molly is. Molly is, look at what she's done. She's telling Andrew to let her in, but she closes off people whenever she wants to.
Yeah.
And I was
She'll
going to
shut you
say
down
that
easily.
she expects a lot from people, but doesn't give out that same energy.
Exactly.
But I think that she and Issa have both been telling hard truths to each other that they really can't handle. Because if you remember the episode last week at the party, when Molly was talking to Issa about her friendship with Condola, and she was saying to her, like, I really think sometimes you like it messy. It's kind of the same thing that Issa was saying to her, like, you're always looking for something, right? So I think they're both speaking hard truths that the other person can't handle or receive at the same time. And whereas Issa kind of let it roll over her, Molly, you're right, Molly takes it to heart.
Yep, that's a good point.
I like that.
Okay, well, this was good. I really enjoyed this episode. I'm looking forward to next week and seeing more of the drama unfold, because like Tiffany said last week, I'm sure this is going to be a very messy season.
definitely.
I know.
Yeah, so we're going to keep coming back to you every week, doing these little virtual check-ins and giving our recaps of Insecure. Drop your comments below and let us know how you felt about the episode. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel, and also click the notification bell so that you can get notified whenever we post. And also follow us on our social media platforms. We are The Spot Real Talk on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Do you guys have any closing remarks before we check out?
Can't wait till next week.
We need 60 minutes. We need 60
I know. Yes.
I agree. 60
All
minutes.
right. Well, hopefully, LaWanda, you can come back and join us next week if you're up to it.
Oh, for sure. This is my show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us. We always love adding another member to the group to give us some more good conversation.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure.
All right, Tiffany and Ron.
Peace.
I'm out.
Be
All right, guys.
Now you're